You know, with arborists, we always really want to just reef on that cow hitch and get it real tight, because we know we're going to take that big piece and it's going to come down and it's going to shock load the system, and the double braid's going to come out, and this was right here is now down here, right? With these pocket slings, that's not the case, because it's in it's in a girth hitch configuration. So when this comes down, it's not sliding down the stem, it's actually putting pressure on the actual rigging sling to keep it in place. So it's pretty nice in that aspect. Also, all I got to do is, if I want to come down and I want to get into bigger wood, or I want to come in, right down, there you go. They're very nice. You can keep them on your harness while you're on the spar, or while you're in doing the rigging removals. They're a lot easier than 15, 20 feet of dead eye sling or a loopy sling. I have found that loopies and whoopies, they are nice and they're convenient, but they just never seem to get as tight as I want them. Now here's another product that All Gear has, and this is, before I get too far, I want to just elaborate on this, on the terminating end here. So there is the, what do I call it, the information of the sling. And it's nice because it's actually stitched into the sling and then has a real nice shrink wrap collar on it. Most of the times you're going to get these from other manufacturers. They're going to take this, they're going to wrap up a piece of paper, slide in there, shrink wrap it, and in 3 rigging situations, it's gone. And you don't know what's going on. You throw it back in the truck, you don't even know the tensile strength on it. So this is really nice. Same basic setup as the soft rigging sling, but this one does not have a rigging eye on it, a rigging ring. It has the ability to put a rigging block if you would want to add friction to your, take friction away from your system. So you want to make maybe a mechanical advantage, or you want to use this for negative rigging. You can take this and put it around an arborist block, and then the same concept. But that's pretty easy. I mean, that's about as simple as you're going to get. The chafe sleeve holds it, protects the material. Now, a lot of folks start looking at these and they go, well, that's great. It's just for negative rigging and it's really easy. But start thinking about this is, maybe you want to make this retrievable, okay? And you could, right, up here with a arborist block, right? So if you wanted to have to retrieve this and you wanted to retrieve it remotely, you could get a retrievable ball going up through either the arborist block or a big retrievable ball going through here and pull that through, right? Up and over. When we're retrieving it, we always want to make sure it's a controlled retrieve so nobody gets hurt on the ground. But there's multiple uses for this, not just girth hitching it around a tree in the canopy or in the base. So you could also, if we had ones a little bit longer, we could also come over here. And let's say there's another union over here. We could drape this over a union, have the rigging block here, and now we've supported whatever piece is going to be lowered, raised, or disposed of by 2 separate points in the tree. All right, so it's not just made for girth hitching around stems of trees. So they're very versatile, and it's a great product. And like I said, I'll confess that I haven't used these until about 8 months to a year ago, and this is what I'm pulling out of my truck the first thing. It's easy. I can mitigate the friction. I can add friction to the canopy so my ground guy doesn't have to worry about how many wraps he has to take. There's a little bit of added, I would say a little bit added safety factor in it. So you're not always having the friction down here and the forces up here. You are taking a little bit of that friction and force and dissipating it through the tree. So what we have for this one right here, okay, tensile is 21,000 pounds. So this is a 3/4 by 8 foot sling. 21,000 pounds. Okay, so this one down here, same thing, but this is a 10-foot chase. This is a 10-foot sling as well. So 10-footer, I would just naturally put around the baits. So when it's wet, it's fine. I haven't experienced any issues when it's wet, when it's cold, when it's raining. I do experience a little bit of issues when you're going through about 7 or 8 blue spruces or firs, and you get a little bit of pine pitch on here. But it's not bad to get off the rings, since you don't have to kind of spin a shiv around. All you can do is just work it off with your finger, and the pine pitch comes off pretty well. Or for the first couple pieces, it's going to just give you a little bit more friction. But it's very simple, very easy to use, and very user friendly. Also, with let's say a newer climber coming into the industry, as a person on the ground watching what they're doing, it's really easy to say, hey, I want you to come over here and do a girth hitch. Okay? Very simple techniques that they should know before they got up the tree, but you're not sitting down on the ground going, okay, so when you do that cow hitch, I want you to go around, it's really hard to try to talk someone through it while you're on the ground. This is really easy. Say, hey, Jimmy, here's what's going to happen. When you go up here, you explain this on the ground, this is what you're going to do. You're going to come around, you're going to put this through. There's your rigging point. Very simple for a new arborist coming into the industry to understand.
Donny, one more question.
Yes?
Can I get that custom made to any length?
I think you can get them custom made to any length.